Hey everybody! I guess I should say hi everybody. Just waiting for some people to show up. Hopefully we'll get some people. I'm also taking care of a um my page for my Etsy shop on Facebook. So if I don't respond right away, please don't get mad. I am still here. I just started the stream a little earlier, figuring I'd give people a few minutes to show up while I quick put a post up on here. I'll wait for it to load. Hey, Bet, how you doing? It's gonna be a fun stream tonight. I usually do this on Jessica's stream, but I didn't do a Jessica stream last night. But I got 2 energy drinks. I've actually had this one before. This is not bad, and I got this one because my friend Woody is big on energy drinks. She never got to taste this one, so I'm gonna taste test this, and I'm gonna let her know. And then just so that I'm not high completely, it's not it's jelly beans. I love jelly beans. It's good you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing well. Like I was saying, I'm quick putting a post up on my hey Crown. I'm quick putting a post up on my Etsy shop Facebook page. So give me one moment and I will be right there. I just want to let everybody know, go check out my Etsy shop. If you want to check it out, you actually can. It's on Etsy, it's Simple Designs by Andrew. I actually do have an Etsy shop. It's all digital stuff. You can just download it. I have planners, birthday and invite cards, some wall art, stuff like that. It's really cool. Check it out. Just give me one sec. I just want to put the post up quick. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Like I said, I wanted to take care of that. I want to get that done because I keep forgetting to do that, and I want to do that. I want to try to make Etsy kind of a good source of income. So, hi Crown, how you doing? Like I was explaining, I have 2 energy drinks and a bag of Starburst jelly beans, and we're talking movies tonight. Tonight is movie night. Sounds cool. Pooh's Adventure in Oz. Let me guess. Are you gonna have like the other Pooh characters be like the other Wizard of Oz characters, like Tigger's the Tin Man, or no, Tigger's the Tin Man, Piglet's the Scarecrow, and Eeyore's the lion that just doesn't give a shit? That would be so cool. All right, so I saw the trailer, the last new trailer for the Mario movie that's coming out, and I personally think it's crap. I watched the trailer, and I'm just like, no. So the whole premise of the movie, I guess, is Luigi gets captured by Bowser, and Mario has to go and save him. So it's basically, it's basically like the Super Mario Brothers, but instead of the princess being captured, it's Luigi. So that's funny. I love Starburst jelly beans. Mm. Mm. So Yeah, I saw that trailer. I watched Ready Player One last week or last weekend. I'm actually gonna be watching it again tomorrow. I'm planning on it. I love that movie, Ready Player One. That is so much fun. But so, what's like a horrible movie you remember from your like childhood or just in general? Like when you hear a horrible movie, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it just like, oh, this is like a piss poor movie, or just god awful? Because I know a lot of people instantly thought like um Pluto Nash, but I love Pluto Nash. I thought that was a good movie when I finally got to fucking see it. I'm so glad when that showed up on Tubi and I was able to watch. I was like, nope, we're watching this. Oh, that was so good. I love that movie. In fact, I love these jelly beans. They're so good. They're so good. They are so good, though. I mean, like, I've had some horrible movies that I've seen. One of them that definitely comes to my mind is Space Chimps. That 3D abomination where they basically ruin the movie in the first 10 minutes. It's like, oh, well, we lost this thing in space. Yeah. We lost these chimps in space, and now all of a sudden we can't, we need to send, well, we lost this rocket in space, and we need to send something that's expendable. Let's just send chimps. I thought it was just the Wicked Witch. But there's only one. To be fair, I hate the Wizard of Oz. To be completely fair, I'm not a fan of it. I love parodies of it. I'm just not a fan of it myself. But I thought it was only one. I thought it was just the Wicked Witch. Because you had the Good Witch, and then there was the Wicked Witch. I thought it was just one evil witch. I agree. Teen Titans Go to the movies blue. And the thing with that movie, they never tried. They never tried to make it good. Their original trailer was one giant fart joke. Then when they finally put out a decent trailer, nobody cared. By that point in time, nobody gave two craps about the movie. Because they're like, it's either going to be good, it's going to be bad, it's going to be horrible. We don't know. We don't care. You had Tara Strong basically groveling and begging people to go see it, which honestly I thought was horrible that they, forced her to do that. I still swear they did, because you cannot tell me somebody of her talent is actually doing that of her own free will. Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna say, please go see Teen Titans Go to the movies, because I really want you to. No, come on. They knew that movie was gonna suck the minute it started. And the premise was horrible. It's like, oh, well, we're going to kill off all the other superheroes so that we're the only superhero team. But yet, no, I'm sorry, I saw the comment. I just want to, but they're like, sorry, they were going to kill off all the superheroes. Like, that's what we're going to do. Like, why? You're killing off all the superheroes. That means you're destroying your own origin stories. Robin wouldn't exist. Cyborg wouldn't exist. Raven wouldn't exist. Starfire would have. No. Yeah, there are a lot of people, that do not like the Blood and Honey. I get that. I realize, though, he's in the public domain now, so you're going to get stuff like this. Whereas we remember him as cute and cuddly. Unfortunately, there are some people that will take the cute and cuddly and just twist it right around. Because there are some, believe it or not, there are some people that were freaked out by Winnie the Pooh. There were, but not to the extent that they made this movie. I mean, you want a horrible movie? I can give you a horrible franchise. How about the Leprechaun? The Leprechaun movies. Some of the scenes were good, like the expansion explosion scene of the girl. I think was in the third one. That's actually really good, really well done, really well, yeah, really well executed. The rest of the series is just flat on its face dull. They are the villains. Their entire premise and plan was we're going to go back in time, kill all the other superheroes to prevent them from getting their own movies because we want a movie. They're idiots. Try this stuff. Not bad. Hey, Alter, what's up? We're talking movies this week. Like horrible movies, good movies, god-awful movies. Right now we're ripping Teen Titans Go, a brand new one. Okay, what is the Selena movie? I am not familiar with the Selena movie. What's the Selena movie? I love these. So, yeah, another part is I can get these all year long, and I only pick now to eat like the little packs of them because I'm not going to pay like $3 for a big bag. But I love jelly beans. I love getting them every year. Okay. 8-Bit, I don't know who that is. So, okay. I still don't know who Selena is because I've never heard of her. I don't have Apple TV, so I haven't seen the biopic. Let me put it this way. There are 3 companies that will never get a dime of my money so long as I can help it. Apple, Netflix, and the best of my power, if I can help it, believe it or not, Hulu. No, we should just go Teen Titans Go universe just deserves to go away and never be made. Like we just Thanos snapped their sorry butts out of existence. No, I gotta bring don't bring Darkseid. They bitch slap Trigog so bad. No, screw the Titans. Just bring Darkseid in, have him wipe them out, and be done with it. Cartoon Network wants to go more adult oriented with their stuff anyway, from like 6 p.m. to 8. That's why Adult Swim's gonna be starting at gonna be starting at like 8 or 7 o'clock, I think now. Like 8 or 7. Oh no, it's 7. They start at 8 now. They're gonna be starting at 7 o'clock starting May 1st. So next month they're starting at 7 o'clock. Screw it. Just make Teen Titans get destroyed. Or Teen Titans Go be destroyed. Make our day last. I like the original Good Burger. I love the skits from all that. I like the original Good Burger. Good Burger 2, I kind of feel like is sort of like Space Jam. Well, like Space Jam 2. Where they should have, or Space Jam: A New Legacy, I should say, or Space Scam, basically, because it was a joke. I feel like if you wanted to make a sequel to a movie like this, you should have done it when the movie was popular, when it just came out, when it's not too far into it. I would have did it then, not now. I would have did it later on. Yes, it. Well, then again, no. Is it weird we live in a world? Yes and no. Hey, Common. Is it weird that we live in a world with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? Yes. Yes and no. Because you also have to remember, we did have Willy's Wonderland. We have the Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out, and we do have the Banana Splits movie that came out. So you have three movies that are already featuring animatronics that are more geared towards children and kids and stuff like that. So it's not weird in that aspect, but it's wrong. I won't deny that. But again, Winnie the Pooh's in the public domain, so they're going to do what they want with it. I have been good. Thank you for calling me sister, by the way. I appreciate that. But I have been good. Yeah, I know, it is a good one. Space Scam, The Cash Legacy. That would be great if they would get on Adult Swim. They won't, but it would be great. Oh no, why are you leaving, Common? I mean, I know YouTube kind of sucks, but I'm still here. I'm still here. Unless YouTube's going to start charging me. In which case they can blow off, because then I'm going to leave. But I'm still here. Or are you just doing an April Fool's? So you want to know how I would have made the Bayverse crown? Like how I would have made it better, or how I would have just done it in general? Yeah, there are a lot of people that feel the same way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like watching YouTube videos. I still go to YouTube to pull up um like how-to guides. I still watch like some of my favorite channels like Austin Evans, C-Rex, just to name a few. The Dry Bread put out a video. But yeah, I mean, you can't really get monetized on this platform that well. I hope you're not done. I like having you around. But I mean, yeah, I know YouTube doesn't make it so you can get monetized easily anymore. And YouTube Shorts are just basically they tried to be TikTok before TikTok, and even now it's kind of weird. But you know, I mean, if you want to leave, you yeah, I figured it was an April Fool's joke. I kind of figured that, but yeah, there's a lot of people. How would I make it better, or both? Okay. But yeah, there are a lot of people that are trying to want to leave YouTube. So it's not actually that big of a joke, but yeah, you're actually on to something. There is some people that are, because they're like, oh, well, I can go to BitChute, and I can go to like this site and this site and whatever. But I'm glad it's an April Fool's joke, because I would not want to see you go. So how would I make the Bayverse better? I'll go for the first three movies because I did not see the other ones fully. I just saw clips. How I would have made the first one better. There really wasn't much to make better about it. Save for maybe, and I would really want to stress the maybe here. Maybe just changing up how the other Autobots are introduced to Sam Witwicky. I would have done that a little different. Definitely the final battle I would have did a little different. But you know, the final battle I would have did a little different. Otherwise, I thought the first one was good. The sequel, though, needed help. I would have completely changed it up a little more. I would have had some bigger Transformers that they had to face instead of the Combiner. Nobody really wanted Devastation in that movie. I didn't want Devastation in that movie. I would have rather went with the original idea that was floating around of it being 5 Fallen instead of just 1. like 5 of the primes. It just went nuts, and they had to take on 5 of them, and Optimus just like, manages to survive it in the end, just takes them all down, or Optimus and Megatron have to team up to take him down. Dark of the Moon, cutting room floor and let it stay there, because that whole movie sucked. You get rid of Megan Fox and you introduce this new chick. You kill off the Autobots, but you don't kill off the Autobots. And you introduce Sentinel Prime, who turns out to be a bad guy because it's the same person who was Leonard Nimoy at voiced Galvatron in the 1986 Transformers animated movie. So, yeah, the whole thing on the cutting room floor and just start from scratch. Dark of the Moon. I would have just had it that, hey, the Decepticons were building something in secret on the dark side of the moon. And they're using ancient Cybertronian technology that somehow drifted into our solar system, something like that. And they use that technology to kind of make different stuff and newer things. And they're going to point like this mega laser or something right at the planet and just harvest all the energy from it and then beam it right back to Cybertron. And you have Optimus and the others that have to try to fight it, and that's when you're introduced to like space Transformers or something like that. That would have been cool. But as far as like the other ones, cutting room floor. I have no idea how to make them better, because again, I've only ever seen clips of the other movies outside of the original Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. I've only seen clips of the others, and I'm not exactly comfortable saying, oh yeah, let's just do this, this, and this, and that'll make it 100% better, because technically that might work, but at the same time, I doubt it highly. There's that. Oh, you're going to do some Stitch fan fictions. Experiment 626. I like Lilo and Stitch. It's one. I like that movie. Not looking forward to the live action one, but I like the movie. But I mean, like, here's the thing though with a lot of these movies is that if the original movie does really well, then we're gonna want a sequel, because it's a warranted thing. Hey, the movie did extremely well. Let's get a sequel. I think you could. I really do. I think you could. But sorry, I'm trying to eat at the same time. So I would definitely say, yeah. I'm not familiar with SCP. So no. But I was gonna say, like with a lot of these movies, I'll use the Transformers one as a primo example. If the first movie does really well, you're expecting there to be a sequel, because it's warranted. If the sequel does well, then let's try for a trilogy. The trilogy is usually where a lot of these movies fall apart, because you've had one good movie that was like a standalone. Then you have to do world building and lore, and then it starts becoming a problem. With the Transformers, a series that has been set in stone since the fucking 80s, you know what the story is. 2 different factions are fighting it out over Energon because they've wiped out their home world. And this is that's what it is. Hey, Cameron. Yeah, I love the 86 movie. They killed off Optimus Prime. Megatron became Galvatron. I still love the line when Unicron summoned him, and he goes, "No one summons me." And he goes, "Well, then it pleases me to be the first," because Unicron was the first ever to summon Megatron. I mean, but if you think about it, with that movie, the 1986 Transformers movie, actually was a tie-in to season 3, and then the little bit of season 4 for the Transformers animated series. So you had the first 2 seasons that basically ended at the end of season 2. Then you have the movie, then season 3, because everything that happens in season 3 takes place post-movie. So the movie kind of connects and bridges the two halves together, which is really cool. Of course, then we got screwed with season 4. We only get the one episode, and then it went on to become the Headmasters. But you have movies that do that. I mean, look at the Karate Kid movie. The first one did so great, but here's the thing: the second one is better. Like, in so many ways, the second one's better than the first. And then you have the third one that is just the worst out of the three. I love the second movie. I can tolerate the first movie. I love the second movie. Third movie can just blow. And with trilogies, you have that. I mean, look at Austin Powers. Then again, I hated all three of them, but you have Austin Powers and Austin Powers 2, then Austin Powers 3. Okay, so it's 3 Austin Powers movies. Which one was the weakest out of the 3? And you're instantly going to think Goldmember, because if I was right, that was the third movie, which is a little weird, because why would that one be the worst out of these 3? Because the writing felt the weakest. Because it's like they didn't care anymore. It makes sense. They probably didn't. This just tastes like root beer. Not bad. Then you would have Beast Wars, which they're pretty much doing now. Only in this case, they're not even doing that with Rise of the Beast? It's not even technically Beast Wars. They're just taking the Netflix series Transformers Kingdom or Transformers Siege Kingdom, and they're just making it into a live action movie, which, to be honest, I don't like the designs. Like Cheetor, Rat Trap, and all those. I don't like the design of them. The designs are just off-putting to me. I don't know why. But they just are. But yeah, basically, if you would have just replaced the Autobots and the Decepticons, the Maximals and the Predacons, yeah, I would have just said, screw it, because it's Beast Wars, which honestly probably would have been a much better movie. Yeah, well, the Blade trilogy also was a standalone film. It wasn't connected to anything. It just was built off of the background of this is the character and everything else. Oh, hi, Foxy. Beard 10. Probably was toothpaste. Oh, I'm glad you like the Christmas rampies. I actually like doing this. I was going to do those the year before. But unfortunately, that was the year that shit just hit the fan with me, and I couldn't keep up with it. I plugged my laptop in for when the battery starts going dead. I was going to do them like the year before they went out, but shit just hit the fan with me, and I wasn't able to get them out, and I was like, crap. I couldn't record them. I couldn't get them done in time. I wasn't going to have a chance to upload them, and I was like, damn it. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to do it the next year. But, yeah, I was like, screw it. I'm just going to do it the next year. But I'm glad they made you happy. I really am. They were fun. It was basically everything that I hate about the holidays, all just like thrown into one thing. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I'm actually thinking about bringing the rants back because I can probably just like live stream the rants because I do have my tablet. And so long as YouTube is cool with me using that to like rant a little bit, I might be able to do that. It'd be like little quickies that I can do, which I'm fine with doing because, wait, hold on. I actually have my tablet here. I mean, I can do them off of this. At least I should be able to. So I'm actually thinking about bringing the rants back in a way. Because I can do those really easily. Like, hey, I can do like a 5-10 minute rant, like at night quick. Just do like a live rant or something, and just make it about something really simple and simplistic. But yeah, I'm planning on bringing them back actually because it's a good outlet for me. I'm definitely gonna need it with stuff coming up. If you're gonna watch Casablanca, I would really recommend avoiding cliff notes, avoiding spoilers, and avoiding memes like the plague. Yeah, my grandfather passed away in October of 2020. He was old though, because this used to be his room, but he was old though. He was pretty far up there, and he was having kidney problems. We found out then he didn't want to tell any of us, so that was fun. But he passed away in October of 2020. Come November and that, I ended up we weren't doing overnights at work, but between work and everything going on, I was like, I really don't have the time for this. I really don't have the time for this. I couldn't like find a chance to sit down and actually do the videos, and I was like, screw it. But then I did it for I think it was 2020, yeah, 2021 because I didn't do it last year, so 2021. But yeah, that's actually a good question. I mean, I wouldn't mind using the Autobots and the Decepticons, but if I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna be honest here, if I'm gonna go with and making my own Transformers movie, like flat out, I get complete creative control. I'm doing a multiverse story where I'm getting like multiple Optimuses, multiple Megatrons. I'm going multiverse on this. Like you're gonna have Optimus Prime that changes it from a fire truck into a robot, or an Optimus Prime that goes from a jet into a robot. There's gonna be different ones, but they're all gonna be Optimus. You're gonna have different Megatrons. It's gonna be like, look, I'm the last survivor of my dimension of Autobots. And then you have Megatron who might be like, this might be a good Megatron that's like, but no, I'm not evil. The Decepticons in my dimension are good. We fight against the Autobots. And then he finds out that the Autobots are horrible. That would be the direction that I would go for a standalone movie. I'm really glad. Okay, Foxy, I am really glad that my videos were able to help you out with that. I really am. I actually like doing the rant videos. I really do. I'd actually put them up. I was saying it was 2021 because 2022 I didn't do anything for Christmas because I had to take a break from the channel with everything that happened last year for me. Because last year in September we lost my uncle, and we're trying to figure out a way to get the house and everything else. But yeah, I'm really sorry for your loss, Foxy. But yeah, that's why I didn't do anything last year for Christmas. I wanted to, but I was like, I just between starting my new job and making sure I had the money to pay for everything. We were freezing cold because it had to be like -5 degrees here on the East Coast for Christmas. I was like, you know what? I'm not in the mood for this. And I was just like, but I had to take a break from the channel because I didn't know if we were going to have a roof over our heads or what was going to happen. But I am, first of all, that's really great. I am honestly really touched by that. I was able to give somebody laughter. I mean, you love my rant videos. I'm planning to bring them back. Like I said, I can record like quickies and that, so I'm looking forward to bringing those back. I really am. I did the same thing with the Brave Little Toaster. Somebody had the whole movie up on YouTube, and I was like, the whole movie's on YouTube. I watched it with my mom one day, and I was like, I still love the movie. It still holds up the same way it did from when I was a kid. I still love it. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just I'm really glad though about that, Foxy. I'm really glad that I was able to give you a laugh to get through that. Just believe me, I know what it feels like when you have family die. Because, like I said, I had my grandmother passed away in 2015, 2 days after Christmas. She died on the 27th in 2015. My grandfather died. It would have been October 9th of 2020, and my uncle passed away. It was the 17th of September. So, yeah, it believe me, I know death. I know it all too well. All right, I'm gonna let my friend know this stuff sucks. She ain't missing nothing with it. It sucks. Wait, well, we're on the subject of Christmas. How about this? What about horrible Christmas movies? Like, how many of us have not seen A Christmas Story at least 1,000 plus times? I can pretty much tell you that movie from start to finish, and I don't like it. Ralphie wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. You'll shoot your eye out. He's going to beg Santa. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. I'll get the teacher. You'll shoot your eye out. He swears the word that he has heard his father utter many, many times. And this movie is a cult classic. They made a sequel for it. It's like, no. just no. Yeah, well, I was a volunteer firefighter. I was a volunteer firefighter. That's how I knew that. But yeah, every Christmas, because from it would have been 2000, when did that, at least like 2012ish on, I was helping out with like computer stuff at my local fire company. And Christmas Day, I would go over for a couple hours, make sure like check the emails, check answering machine messages, check phones. And I was like, okay, everything's good, everything's up to date. You would be surprised how many calls were coming out at like 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Structure fire, Christmas tree on fire. And I'm like, yep, here we go again. You're bringing in this giant dry hunk of wood that you're forgetting to water. You're wrapping electrical lines around it that you're powering with electricity to make it look pretty and nice. And all you're creating is a gigantic fire hazard just waiting to go up in flames. I actually like Christmas with the Cranks. I actually like that movie. My mom and I went to go see that. I did a review for that for my school newspaper. I hate to argue with it. I actually like that movie. I'm amazed AMC kept replaying that though. I mean, that seems, no offense, that seems like something that FX would replay. But yeah, no, I actually like Christmas with the Cranks. That was one of my favorites. It really was. I liked Christmas with the Cranks. Um, there was another good Christmas movie that I like, but Christmas with the Cranks is good. I will admit, near the end, it starts dragging a bit because they have to like reset everything. They have to all come together. It's like, hey, look, we're not having our usual Christmas. We're having a new one with everybody else. But yeah. Well, duh. Comic characters are always going to be stronger than the live action ones because comic book characters can exist in a wonderful world I like to call, they're a comic, they're a gag. They can be stronger because they're in a 2D world. They don't have to abide by our physics. Well, that's what a lot of these networks will do. They'll replay, like, let's say, I know ABC Family did that. Um, Well, FX does it every year. TNT did it every year. TBS did it every year. Where depending on what it is, they'll replay a movie over and over and over again. Sometimes it might just be the movie of the month, and it'll be on like 120, 300 times. So that is a possibility. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've watched a couple of the Addams Family movies. I like the cartoon a little better. I'll even take the show slightly over the movies, but I like the cartoon. That was one of my favorites growing up, was a cartoon. I did love that cartoon. There's a really good one though, because I know because this is the movie that just got its wonderful little remake that came out. What was it, last year? Hocus Pocus got their little remake, and ABC, or sorry, Freeform. Almost did the old one. But Freeform was just playing that thing like crazy. It's like Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus. I don't care. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an all right movie one time. Once. It's okay. Once. I don't need to see it 1,000 times. It's like how my friend, she used to work at a department store. And this is way back. She's old. She's way older than I am. It's way back in like the 90s. They were playing on a loop, because you know how they would always have the TV set up in like the electronic section, like, hey, come pick up this beautiful plasma or this beautiful like 35-inch TV for only like $2,000. They were playing Top Gun constantly on a loop. It drove her nuts. I mean, like, it drove her batty. So what did she do? She's like, oh, well, she hates the movie. And she hates Top Gun with a passion. So one year for Christmas, I fixed her up a gift. I made the Broken Edition. It's basically was a blank DVD that I just cut up and destroyed, and then kind of taped and glued back together, and stuck it inside of a busted up case, or slightly busted up case. And it's like Top Gun Broken Edition. Join Goose and Maverick in beautiful 0.0 aspect ratio. No bonus features. A runtime of 0 minutes. Because it's never going to play. It's a gag gift. She liked it because she hates the movie so much. She actually put it on her shelf to see if any of her family that come around and borrow her movies would be stupid enough to try to watch it. It's like, there's nothing on it. It's a gag gift. It doesn't exist. And I'm just like, yeah, because I hate the movie too. And I'm just not a fan of it in general. But yeah. Well, with TV networks like YTV and Teletoon, it would be whatever they have the license for. So keep in mind, they're limited to what their library is. A prime example of this, I could say, look at Cartoon Network. And you can actually look for this for like Symbionic Titan. Because for the longest time, then it wound up on Toonami. Like, it was on the Toonami block on late nights on like a Saturday, but then they lost the rights to air it. So they couldn't air it anymore. They couldn't have it anymore. With so like they couldn't air it, period. So that was taken away from their library. So if it would also vary upon like what they all have licensing for and stuff like that. But yeah. Thank you. I kind of remember Wayside. I think Cartoon Network had that on, or I remember seeing it. I remember if it was like ABC or something, or Disney. I just remember seeing it. I didn't like it either. So yeah, you're not alone in that one. Oh yeah, and he starts the great battle that could be heard for miles. Yeah, we starts there. Yeah, Believe it or not, I actually do that when I'm trying to fix something. I will start if I get frustrated at it, I start swearing. Um, 2020, no lie, Christmas Eve 2020. I had to work that night, like the night before into it, because we were doing a no, I had to be there at 1 in the morning. Hmm, that's right. We weren't doing overnight, but we were doing overnight. Go figure. It was like 12 a.m. or 1 o'clock. I had to be there. And I got done at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, fine, screw it. I was like 8 o'clock. That's right. I'm like, fine, screw it, whatever. I go home. Now, I already knew going home. Now, not the whole thing, just the faucet part. Because ours finally died. And I'm like, look, I'm not going through this BS of calling this company up saying, hey, I need another one of these parts because, like, lifetime warranty. Yeah, lifetime, my butt. They accused us of breaking it. So, like, screw the lifetime warranty crap. Screw it to hell. So, I'm like, fine, screw lifetime warranty. I'm not going through this nightmare. So what I did was I stopped, bought a whole new one. Like, look, I'll just spend $50, buy a goddamn new one, and just put it in. I'm not even joking. What would have taken my grandfather an entire Saturday to do, I got done on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve, mind you. I got done in like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I got it done. And that was mostly me having to refit pipes and put on some PVC pipes to connect everything together. I had the whole thing done in like 2 hours. And I was swearing a couple times during it, like, you dirty whore, you son of a bitch, trying to get the pieces to fit, trying to get everything connected right. But believe me, I swear, I worked with my grandfather to fix stuff when I was a kid. I picked that up from him. Because I remember the one time I learned a whole new word, and I was so excited to tell my mom, I'm like, I learned a new word today. My grandfather whipped his head around and goes, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. That's like me with some of my shows. Like, I love The Simpsons, but they know just how to piss me off. I love anime, but there are some series that just know how to tick me off just the right way. It's like, I'm really liking this, and you found a way to tick me off just the right way. Yeah, like I said, I kind of remember Wayside. Don't don't ask me to quote it. I kind of remember it, but I'm not 100% on it. But I just don't remember liking it either. I think that was one of those that I just like I tuned out or just turned it off. Cuz I think when it was airing for me, it was like right around the same time we were getting Code Lyoko and all the other good stuff, and I was watching that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this garbage. I'm gonna watch Code Lyoko instead. I love Code Lyoko. You know, cassette tapes are coming back. They're making Walkmans now that can actually take cassette tapes and have like a micro SD slot for music files. I saw that on Austin Evans' channel. So I was like, oh God, we're getting Walkmans again. I just remember them from Guardians of the Galaxy and my mom seeing that and just laughing her ass off in the clip that I showed her. She's like, those things were notorious for not lasting more than like a day. Because she worked at a factory and some lady had gotten one. She literally was burning through those like they were candy. Mm. I just thought of one for worst. How about worst like live action anime movies that were just like god awful? You have Dragon Ball Evolution. That's the first one that comes to my mind. That horrible abomination. Yeah, my friend isn't missing anything with that one. I don't know if it's the jelly beans or the supposed energy drink, but I'm getting a little loopy. Oh well. To be fair though, I actually had to use cassette tapes once to study for a test. It was a big test in high school. It was going to be worth about 30% of our grade for the term. And I remember spending like an entire Wednesday because the test was on Thursday. I spent that Wednesday afternoon when I got home, literally borrowed my grandmother's tape recorder, took a couple of blank tapes, it was one of her blank tapes, and I was just like listening and just recording into it. Then that night, I popped it into my stereo that had a cassette tape spot, and I'm listening to myself like give out like, okay, so this is what I'm have to remember. It was like 13, states, not colonies, states. And I'm going through this like entire, like everything I had to learn, and I'm doing it subconsciously. I ended up acing the damn test. Because the teacher was shocked, and I said, well, I recorded everything on a cassette tape and I listened to it the night before the test. And he's just like, you're a kid. I said, no. Oh, I hated those Death Note movies. Oh, God. I hated those. I bought the first one from a 4-year entertainment. Oh, God. I bought it at a 4-year entertainment for like $15. Brought it home. I'm like, I'm going to watch this. Because I had seen Death Note by this point. I had seen Death Note. It was one of the series I had under my belt. And I'm watching this. I'm falling asleep. I'm not joking. I'm falling asleep watching this piece of crap. So finally, I'm like, nuts to this crap. I'm not going to fall asleep anymore. I tried it that night. So I'm watching it. It's like right when I got home, I'm watching it. I'm like, started dozing off. I'm like, okay, maybe I was just really tired from school. So then I'm trying it that night. I'm still falling asleep. I'm like, that's it. It's nuts to this. And I sold it back. I got like $7.50 for it. I'm like, well, I got at least half back for it. Fuck, I don't care. But then I find out that they made a freaking sequel for it. I'm like, how do you make a sequel to a Death Note movie where you kill the main character at the end of the movie? They killed the main character at the end of the movie, and it's like, oh yeah, no, but we made a sequel, and he's alive again. Huh? Oh, I did too. I saw it on TV and I kept falling asleep. Final Fantasy Spirits Within, I couldn't even make it 5 minutes into that. I was just like, nope, and I was out like a light. I got a movie from the Dollar Tree back when they still had stuff for $1. Now it's the buck and a quarter tree, or the four for $5 tree, as my friend puts it. But I watched I forget, it was like the cutscenes from a PS1 game. The game wasn't even really that good. But I'm watching that and I'm just like, this is the stupidest thing ever. I got like maybe 6 minutes into it and I'm like, nuts to this. But Final Fantasy Spirits Within, I couldn't even stomach that piece of crap. Yeah, L changed the world. I think was a lot of people's favorites. By that point, and don't take this the hard way, I had just given up on the Death Note franchise. I was like, you know what? I watched it. I know what it's about. I still have the one book that like explains everything, gives you like in-depth details on everything that happened in the series and stuff like that. I still have that. I'm like, I'm not interested in learning anything else about Death Note. I'm not interested in learning anything else about this. I'm content with this. I know I bought the when it came out because I had some Best Buy reward points I had to piss away, and I had enough to buy like one free DVD. I got the compilation of like 10, like the first arc. I'd gotten that. They're actually not that expensive. I would say try eBay. You might be able to find one there. If not, if you have Facebook and if there's a buy nothing, sell nothing in your area, you might be able to find one for nothing. If not, maybe Marketplace might have one. But yeah, those things are a bitch to fix. I have one. I didn't get rid of it. I have one. I know what's wrong with it. It's something that I could fix, but I'd have to actually learn soldering. I'd get a soldering iron because the one power wire for the battery broke. It just like popped off, but it has to be soldered on. I'm not good at that. But in all honesty, I have one. I have like a bunch of blank tapes too. I thought about putting them all up on eBay. But yeah, they are a bitch to fix. And now you have to remember, I grew up with cassette players. So for me, my first ever album was something that I got from my uncle. It was the Power Rangers album. It's like all the music from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. My mom had gotten me a Flintstone one, which I cannot find a copy of anywhere online. That has been driving me nuts. What am I thinking of? Oh, Dinosaurs Big Songs was another one that I had. I wore those tapes out. In fact, I actually found a digital download, a free one, which really surprised me for Dinosaurs Big Song and the Power Rangers one. So I have both of those again. But I still can't find that Flintstone one. I really like that. I don't remember because they have like all the songs from the show. I mean, we're talking like every single one. Because there was one that my mom and I had the time, and we would just mute because we both hated the song. We would just mute, like just turn the sound off on the radio, just turn it all the way down, and just time is like, okay, 2 minutes is up, and we turn the volume back up because at that point it's done. Or we would just fast forward it because we hated that song. But they had like all the good ones, like when Fred was that rock star, the happy anniversary song. They had like all of them. I can't think of what the album was because if I could, I would look to see if there's a download of it because there's a site that gives out like free downloads of old albums, and sometimes those were ones that are up for free. But I found like the Power Rangers one, which was the music from the series, and Dinosaurs Big Songs. I love both of those as a kid. In fact, I actually found because back, and this will show my age. I mean, I'm 33. I don't look it, but I'm 33. But there was a Power Rangers, the Dinosaurs Big Song. Well, actually, no, Power Rangers one too had it, but I couldn't find that one. I ended up stumbling across the Dinosaurs one, where like with CDs, they would give you like the little pull-out pamphlet inside that had like the lyrics and stuff like that. Dinosaurs Big Song with the the cassette tape was like this big. Tape's only this big. Packaging was this big because there's a big ass poster in it, and on the other side of the poster is the lyrics for every single song. And I love all those songs. You got Cold Blooded Guy, Poor Slobs, Grandma's Coming, Stone Age Bayou, I'm the Baby, Gotta Love Me, um, I Want to Be King. I love they're almost all of them are on my MP3 player. except for I'm the Baby. I didn't put that one on, and I'm kicking myself, but I'm gonna have to put that one on my player. I love that song too much. But yeah, there's like a lot with us. But I can't remember what the Flintstone album was. For the life of me, I can't. I have been searching for it left, right, and sideways because I do like that song. I do like that album because it's just pure nostalgia. Because my mom gave that to me. I would have been for I want to say first grade or second grade. No, second grade. Second grade. First grade, I got the Power Rangers one. That was the one I got from my uncle because my first day of school, I came home and it's like, oh yeah, here your uncle dropped this off for you, and it was the Power Rangers one. I don't really have any cassette tapes anymore. If I do, they're ones that my grandmother had. Because what my grandmother used to do. Wait, hold on, I can actually show you. Hold on. So over here, this thing right about here. See where my finger is now pointing? So the camera again, right there. This thing here. Yeah. So that was a. She could put CD in the top, and then she could make a cassette tape out of it at the bottom. And she would do that, like, hey, you want a tape, but she never did it right. So it would be like off by like maybe like a track or something. She would have like two tracks on the same side. It was we called them the Nana tapes. It's like it's made with love because you don't have a CD player. I do. I'll make you a tape. Here you go. It's like okay, but as far as like I have like a bunch of those. I think I have a Jim Croce that I had gotten, but then again, I only like four of his songs anyway, and I have them on my MP3 player. At least two of them off the top of my head are Operator, Bad Bad Leroy Brown, and oh, if I can save time in a bottle. I love those three. There's another one, but I can't think of it. But I have those on my MP3 player because it's just easier to just get the MP3 and just make the file. Like I said, it's just easier to just pop them onto this. But yeah, as far as like, as far as cassette tapes, oh man, I don't have any anymore. I used to have a bunch though as a kid because, like I said, that was how I was listening to stuff. I had this little yellow. I think I still have it up in my old room, buried under a mountain of crap, probably like that electric typewriter I have up there. But I had a it's like really small. It's like a play school cassette player. It was like a red like faceplate here that the tape goes into. You close that up. Had like yellow headphones that could go down. Then I ended up breaking those. I had to get another set. And I used that. I beat the crap out of that thing. It only had three buttons. The green button was play, the red button was record, and then there was a stop and eject button. And I was like, I just beat the living crap out of that player. Like I would listen to cassette tapes all the time as a kid. Again, remember, I grew up in the 90s. So for me, cassette tapes were the way I was getting information, how I was getting music. Then we got CDs when I was in sixth grade, which would have been like end of the 90s, early 2000s. But majority of the ones that I had were like either Nana tapes. I actually, oh, wait, nope, I do have one. I do have a cassette tape I do know of. I have the cassette tape for The Lion King, like the soundtrack from the movie. And I have the CD of it. The CD I got at a flea market for like 25 cents. And I could not be any happier. I was skipping to the car. Couldn't listen to it on the way home because I didn't know how good the CD player was in the car. I was so tempted to put it in and try. But I have that. I love the soundtrack for that. And I have the actual cassette tape for it too. Yeah. Ooh, 8-track. Oh, that's old school. What's sad? I actually found like a whole bunch of 8-track tapes. I was trying to get rid of them for the longest time. Those things are huge. Those things are huge. 8-track tapes. They're huge. Oh my god. Those things are big. And then when I was cleaning my grandfather's room up, so this is a fun story. I put this up on Twitter. So when I was cleaning this room up a little bit so that I could move in here, And I still want to move the bed yet. I have not gotten around to cleaning this over here so that I can. But I kept finding like 8-track tapes. We're cleaning under the bed. I'm finding 8-track tape. I'm finding 8-track tapes after 8-track tapes after 8-track tape. And every single one of them, just like every single box I'm pulling out of this place. My grandfather, for the longest time, was like, I was a shy person in school. I was a shy kid growing up. I never looked at pornography. I put this up on Twitter because my friend is a huge Simpsons nut like I am. I go, my Simpsons buddy had better get this because I will be pissed if she doesn't. I put down every box I move, and all I'm finding is porno, porno, porno. That's all I was finding, like 8-track wise, was like porno tapes. I'm like, and you were a shy person, my ass. You were shy. Bullshit. Like, all I'm finding is porno, porno, porno. This stuff really does taste nasty. She is not missing anything. Yeah. Yeah. Like, for anybody wondering, I'm still adjusting my wig because my hair isn't long yet. And it does kind of bother me, but I can't do anything until it starts to grow out, and this is just biding my time. But I do have like hair dye. I am planning to dye my hair. I'm looking forward to that. But oh yeah. I remember cassette tapes. Oh my god. Hey, here's one. Anybody remember VHS? Those 3 magic letters that would often cause people's asses to clench like steel. You could break steel with your ass. VHS. I like it because you sent me a link to the first one. I thought it was really cool. I remember you sent me a link to that first one. I'm like, oh, this is really neat. Really glad I looked down at my battery. It was almost dead. Holy crap. Whew, that was close. I almost that was close. Yeah, you sent me a link to that one because I actually watched the first. Listened to the first one. I thought that was really good. I think it'd be pretty cool. Well, look at that. I do this podcast every week. I used to do the absolutely completely random podcast every week, but let's be fair, I kind of ran out of stuff to do with that. And I kind of like this where we get to interact. No offense. This is a lot more fun where we get to interact. Like, you can ask questions and I can interact with you. Because I didn't get to do this before because I could never set up the live stream. Now I can set it up. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. I want to interact with everybody because this is a lot more fun to interact and play with everyone. We can all have fun together. All be in the same boat. We're on the SS Duh. If you actually notice, though, this week, compared to the last couple, I changed the light bulb. So, this is the old bulb. It's not, this is the box that one came in. But the old bulb was like a daylight bulb. And I was trying to take a picture last night, and it just kept, like, overexposing the picture, like, so bad. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So then I changed out the bulb, and I'm like, yeah. You do. You do have a good voice for my friend's the same way. Because she wants to go for vocal surgery as part of her gender dysphoria. And I keep telling her, no, you have a good voice. Like, she could, I'm not even joking here. She could read the dictionary and I would follow along with it. Because she's just got this calming voice, and it makes sense. Now, if you notice, I've been trying out my newer voice. I'm trying to get more practice with it. It makes sense, but I'm trying. So, like, here's my question: do I still sound like pleasant? Or do I sound a little weird now? I mean, because all right, to be fair, because everybody on here has heard my rant videos, so you know what I sound like normally. So do I sound a little more calm like this, or does it sound the same, or is there like no difference? I'm just kind of curious as I venture into the weirdness and crack open number two. Oh God, this is not gonna end well. Well, yeah, I know what this one tastes like, so this is gonna be like the I'm gonna use this to wash that out of my mouth. This is that was just nasty. Here, I want to give my official endorsement. Hold on, this is my official endorsement for Bang Blazing Root Beer. This stuff is crap. Don't waste your money. If you want some good stuff, get your hands on some 3D. Um, the Galaxy line kind of tastes like Green Spot. Oh, that was I never got to do that, but that sounds like fun. Well, then again, I never had any friends growing up. I didn't get my first real friend until I was in middle school, and that was like 8th grade. So it took a while. But that sounds like a lot of fun though. That you have like a whole bunch of like old cassette tapes where you recorded yourself, you're playing outside. That sounds like a lot of fun. I never had that. The first time I ever actually heard my voice when I recorded it was on that cassette tape that I did for my to figure out and to learn what I needed to for that test. But that sounds like a lot of fun though. I never got to do that. Like I never got to do a lot of fun stuff as a kid because I couldn't invite anybody over. I couldn't really that's what I'm looking for. Oh, couldn't really invite anybody over. Never really was invited to anybody else's house. Never really had any friends. The neighbor kid was like the only one that talked to me for a little bit, and then he got weird, and then he didn't want to talk to me. Then he wanted to talk to me again, then he didn't want to talk to me again. So I was like, yeah, it's that wonderful little meh. Who cares? I just realized I'm gonna have like 500 milligrams of caffeine now. These are supposedly energy drinks, but I don't think they're energy drinks because I don't feel any different. Be a little giddy, but maybe a little giddy, but but no, I got the with the movie topic tonight. I have a good one. So, what is a movie that for any of you that was like a huge surprise for how good it was? Like you just got it on like a whim, like in a discount or clearance section. You're like, oh, it's like $5, like $3. Oh, it's $1. And it was like this. You're like, I'll give this thing a shot now. What the hell? And it became like, oh my god, this blew my mind. This is so good. What was one of those for you? Because for me, it was The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I got that for $1. Literally, when Dollar Tree still had stuff for $1, I got it for $1. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'll give this thing a shot. And I'm like, oh my God, this is good. I was just like, it blew me away how good that movie was. And I'm like, yeah, this was really, really, really good. My mom basically had like a religious experience watching Cloud Atlas. I remember that. Neat. That is cool. I actually remember seeing reel to reel stuff because we actually took a field trip to the one local museum. And at the time we went, this would have been middle school. When we went, they were having a technology exhibit. They had reel to reel players because and we couldn't take pictures of anything because the school had an issue with us taking pictures. The school had an issue with us taking pictures after some kids that did something illicit on a field trip that we didn't go on, but they had went on. So we couldn't take pictures, and we're like, ugh. But I was telling my mom about it. She goes, "Oh yeah, that's a reel-to-reel player." I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, those things are cool." I won't deny those things are cool. I do not like Bridge to Terabithia. Now, to be fair, I have seen it. This isn't one that I've seen clips of. Cartoon Network did have it on. I did watch it. I don't like it because they kill the girl off in it. And I said that to a friend of mine who read the book, and he's like, they kill her off in the book too. I'm like, I hate this movie. I hate the book because I don't think she deserved to die. My grandfather was picky about his films, but he did like a few that I picked out to watch. There was one he really liked that I hated. It was called The Leisure Seeker. He was so adamant that my mom and I had to get this movie for him. Oh my god. It was oh my god. I hated that movie. It's basically this old guy that has dementia. He is like so far gone. His wife, who I think she had like cancer or something, and they're taking one last trip. Their kids don't know where they are. They're terrified and worried about him. And here they're taking a trip down so he can see this place in Florida. And they're like enjoying themselves one last time because she's planning to end their lives. It's going to be it was basically a murder suicide. She killed him and then herself in their sleep by turning on the engine of their RV and just letting it, fill up with carbon monoxide. So my grandfather was told, "Oh, this movie is the greatest." He loved it. I hated it. I hated it with a passion. The only thing that got me through that entire movie was at the same time I had ordered something on eBay and it showed up that Saturday. And I'm like, "Oh, thank God, this is here. I'm going to go." And I was playing with that while watching the movie. Okay. It's like I had something else to occupy my attention because that movie sucked. He actually liked Pluto Nash. He thought that was good too because that was a shocker to him. Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag, a Joe Pesci movie, which is really good if you ever get a chance to watch it. That was funny as hell. There was a lot on them because, I want to say we got the Roku in 2017. Well, we got it in 2016 for him for Christmas. We didn't get the internet until 2017 because we had to wait a couple months. But we just watched like a lot of movies. Like every weekend, we were watching movies. And there's like so many I couldn't even tell you, but I know he liked The Christmas Story. He loved Batteries Not Included. Oh god, there was a lot. Yeah, it was like Batteries Not Included. He did like the second Karate Kid movie because he was in the I want to make sure I get the right one here. It was the Korean War. The Korean conflict. But he was stationed in Okinawa. So, because my aunt was like, he was fighting in the trenches. He was an ambulance driver in Okinawa. Because I remember the story that he told because I got a kick out of it, and it's the only one that I will ever remember. Because he had to transport a dead guy who fell into a well and swelled up. And he goes, "You are not sticking that dead fat corpse in my ambulance. It's going to stink up the ambulance. You are not doing it." And they forced him to. He goes, "That smell never got out of that ambulance. Ever." But I knew he was an ambulance driver in Okinawa. Because I used to have a picture, and I gave it to my aunt because she wanted it. Oh, my aunt, let me phrase that. My cousin wanted it, and my aunt wanted it. So I gave the physical one that I had made. It was an old picture that I had restored. I gave the physical one to my cousin, and I gave the digital copy to my aunt. But I know that he liked Batteries Not Included. Like I said, Pluto Nash, the second Karate Kid movie. There was a few that he liked, but he was picky. He was picky when it came to movies. Like he he was picky. He was really, really picky when it came to movies because either he liked them or he hated them. But he was picky. Yeah, I know. I thought she would have lived too. Because I'm like, okay, they keep building up this character throughout this whole entire movie, and it's like, for Bridge to Terabithia, they keep building up this character, and I'm like, okay, so she's going to live. At the end of the movie, she's going to be okay. And then it's like, oh no, the kid goes to this art thing with the art teacher that he kind of has a crush on, and then he comes home and finds out that his friend slipped on the rock or slipped on the thing and fell into the river and hit her head and died. And I'm like, how in the hell do you write a character off like that? That was wrong. That was freaking wrong. By the way, hi Chuck, how you doing? I just realized you said the one question for him, but how you doing? The ambulance one. Because that's honestly the only one I remember anymore to this point, and the only one I care to remember. Because if you've thought, well, you have. My grandfather and I did not see eye to eye a lot from when I was a teenager. Pretty much till when he died, we did not see eye to eye. When I was a kid, we did. When I became a teenager, straight on to adulthood, and into adulthood, no, we did not see eye to eye. So that's like the only story I really remember anymore. That's really the only one I care to remember. Let's just put it that way. But I just remember he's like, you're not sticking that dead fat corpse in my ambulance. It was the guy like fell into the well during the night. It was 100 degrees the next day when they found him. They're digging him out of this well, and they're like, well, you got to transport him down to the, you got to transport the body. He's like, you are not sticking that dead fat corpse in my ambulance. They're like, no, we're sticking the dead fat corpse in your ambulance. You have no choice. Yeah, I like the today's April Fool's Day. I sent an original joke to a friend of mine because I'm going to tell the joke here because she got a kick out of it. My mom got a kick out of it. So here's the joke I sent her. Now I'll explain it afterwards, but this is the joke that I want to tell. So this is the joke I sent my friend this morning because I send her jokes like every day, but this is an original one. So you know how everybody like they go and travel, and they always come back with like these little knickknacks they just have to tell you about that they got in like bumfuck Idaho at a truck stop, right? And it's like, hold on, let me pull up the whole thing. I don't want to mess it up because it was really good. Let me just pull up I sent it to her as a message. Let me just pull it up, but it was really funny. I gotta kick it. It was an original joke from me. Like I did an original joke. An original joke. All right, let's see. Where is it? All right, here we go. Because she's like right at the top of my. She's like right at the top of my messaging system. Because I talk to her like, I try to talk to her like every day. So she's like right at the top. All right, here's the joke. Gotta love when people go on vacation and come back with those knickknacks that they just had to get and tell you about them. Yeah, this snow globe was from a roadside truck stop in bumfuck Idaho. They had truckers fighting, a deer mounted on the wall, and a busty cardboard cutout waving as you leave. I just had to get this to remember it. Cost me $59.95, but it was damn worth it. But damn, it was worth it. Now, I had a friend that went down to Florida 3 times. She came back with coconuts, melons, and beach balls. The best part, she still has them, unlike the snow globe. Because my friend went down to Florida and had a boob job. So she had 3 boob jobs in Florida. She came back with coconuts, melons, and now she has beach balls. But I figured she would get the kick out of the joke. And I'm like, yeah, it's April Fool's Day. And it's like, I'm like, I got to tell her this joke. I think she'll get a kick out of it. She did. She did like it. I figured she would. But yeah, April Fool's Day. Let me first say, I was telling my mom, I like April Fool's Day on the premise of you're screwing with your friends. I hate April Fool's Day for like YouTube channels that are like, today's April Fool's Day. I'm gonna put out a video that says that, I'm completely the 180 of what I usually do. It's why I lost respect for the completionist. It was why I lost respect for a couple other YouTube channels. I was like, I hate April Fool's Day with YouTube. Hey, Alfred. Yeah, I do miss rental places. But then again, here's a fun story. So, every major holiday, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, usually, my one uncle would go to Blockbuster and rent movies. And when I got older, it basically came to the point I don't want to watch the movie with the family anymore. I don't want to watch the movies with the family anymore. I want to watch my own movie. So he would rent like 2 movies for them to watch and 1 movie for me to watch because he could get up to 3 on his card. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. So that was actually how I got introduced to the Transformers movie because I watched that on VHS. He had rented it for me. I remember there was one time he's like, it has to be back by Monday morning, 10 a.m. So it was like it was the Flintstones movie with John Goodman and Rick Moranis. Because I wanted to watch it with my mom that Sunday night, and he goes, that's fine. It just has to be back first thing Monday morning by 10 a.m. It was. We put it into that slot at 9:30 in the morning, so it was back before 10. So months later, it was a couple years later, and he went to Blockbuster, and he wants to rent a couple movies, and this wasn't even for a holiday. This was just for him. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, you still owe us a late fee for 3 movies. He had returned them. I'm not even joking. He returned them. And it's like, oh, no, you didn't return them. He goes, no, I returned them. He had proof he returned them because he didn't have them anymore. And they're like, no, you never returned them. So they were going to charge him I think it was like $50. And he fought him on it. He won because he did return them, and they did have proof of it. The person never checked them in that they were returned. They were sitting in the return bin. He got pissed off and said, screw this. I'm just going to buy the movies now and screw you guys. But, oh, yeah, I remember rental places. I remember Blockbuster. I have never seen The Room. Ever, and I don't plan to watch it. I never saw The Room. Peter Pan and Bambi horror? I thought Bambi was already scary enough because they kill the mom off and they have the whole, the death thing in that. I thought that was scary enough. I don't really have any thoughts on that. That'd be Big Chungus, right? The prototype Bugs Bunny, the really fat one. I think that already is public domain. Let's rephrase that, Chuck. He kind of yeah, I don't think age has really helped him that much. I thought he was better like in the 90s. Nowadays when I watch him, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I kind of feel sorry for you. Like I really just want to say, hey, it was really good, but yeah. Oh, Big Chungus is trademarked. Oh, then I don't know what the prototype is anymore because I thought Big Chungus was the prototype. So I really don't know. I remember Harriet the Spy. I remember going to see that. Good Burger. I remember begging my mom taking me to go see Good Burger. Oh, you meant okay? Yeah, no, I never saw Happy Rabbit. Okay, that was my bad. I never saw Happy Rabbit, so don't know. Ooh, ongoing movie franchises that I wish would end. Does Fast and the Furious count? I'd like that to end, please. The sooner the better. Hey, Optimus, how you doing? I'm, in all honesty, I'm just looking forward to watch clips. I'm not planning to go to the movies anymore. Not after going to see Battle Angel Alita cost me like $40. All right, Fast and the Furious counts good. Let's end that. Let's end that, please. No, no more Fast and the Furious movies. I'm done with those. No more. Please, no more. No more. Oh please, no more. I don't want any more of those. Ooh, Pirates of the Caribbean. End Pirates of the Caribbean. Please end Pirates of the Caribbean. I can't take that movie anymore. No more Pirates of the Caribbean. No more of that. I have just been watching the Nostalgia Critic rip those things to shreds. And I cannot even believe that I'm agreeing with him for the third movie. And I just realized that I still have to watch him rip the other two apart because I have not seen the other two. I saw the first three on TV, and I'm like, oh god, they suck. But oh yes, please, end Pirates of the Caribbean, end Pirates of the Caribbean, end Pirates of the Caribbean, please, no more. Ugh, I hate those movies. Ugh. No, it needs to die. It's what it needs to do. They need to put that ship out the pasture and let it go. They don't need to bring it back anymore. Oh. Yeah, and that's just it. Because I remember years ago, somebody had asked me to do a review of the Nostalgia Critic, and at the time, I was planning on doing a. Well, I was planning on. I actually haven't started it yet. I'm still thinking of doing it if I can get everything situated so I can actually record stuff. But I was planning on doing a channel surfing YouTube video series. I'm still planning on it. I just haven't gotten around to actually doing it. I kind of want to wait till I flip my freaking bed around so I can actually like sit in a chair or at least like sit against the bed, something like that. Um, but somebody had said, "Hey, can you review the Nostalgia Critic?" And I was like, "Okay." And I was watching a bunch of his stuff, and I'm like, I kind of wanted to tear him to shreds because like some of the movies he was talking about, I really liked. And I was like, oh, I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to. Then I'm like, no, I can't rip him to shreds. I can't rip him to shreds. I couldn't think of anything nice to say, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pass on this one. But then I started, as I was watching it the one morning before I went to work, I was doing my morning exercise, listening to it, and I was like, he's got a point on the Pirates movies because they sucked. And I'm like, yep, he has a point. I was just shocked about that. Oh no more Chucky, no more fucking Chucky, please, no more Chucky. Oh my god, no. Here's a good one. How about this? I don't want this movie franchise to die. I would like a second one. How about Ready Player 2? And we get a sequel to Ready Player 1. Oh, I forgot about the Haunted Mansion remake. Oh, son of a. I forgot about that. I forgot we were getting that. Oh, God. Oh, I forgot all about the Haunted Mansion. I like the sad thing is I like the original one that Eddie Murphy was in. My mom and I both liked that movie. I forgot we were getting a new one. Oh, I forgot about that. Ugh. Sorry, I just not a fan of Chucky. My mom came in. I was channel surfing the one day, and she came in. She goes, "Don't watch this movie. You're gonna have nightmares." And the movie was Child's Play. I watched like 30 minutes of that, and I was bored shitless. It's like this doesn't do anything. It's boring. Like, ugh. Well, that could work. You could technically have Bambi be part of like the Nara clan or something because they had all the deer. In case you're wondering, the Nara clan was Shikamaru's family. Okay, I could take a Tron 3 because you had the first Tron movie, which wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. The second one, which definitely wasn't bad. Again, I'm not going to say it was good because Lord knows it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It was mediocre, and it was a good mediocre. It wasn't like great mediocre. It was a good mediocre. A third one I could definitely see because they left a massive loophole open at the end of that second movie. And I don't think anybody ever noticed the loophole that they left open. Ugh, please no. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling they were going to be making a sequel to that because they were really hyping it up. And then again, remember, it's appealing to like the people that are into the horror movies and stuff like that. So it's understandable. I say let them have it. Let them have their horror movie of it. Just remember for what it was. Let them have their horror movie. It's fine. It's like a Little Shop of Horrors. You had the original one that was back in the 60s, and then you have the one in the 80s. And the one in the 80s does I've seen both. I have seen both. I have reviewed the one from the 80s. I did that on my reviews video series. Because I was ripped asunder on it too in the comments, but I reviewed that one. I watched it. It's not a bad movie. There's a plot hole in it you could drive a goddamn Mack truck through, but it's not a bad movie. That being said, yes, please. I mean, when you remake a sequel, you remake stuff. There's always going to be a difference, but yeah, I'm kind of throwing the sequel to that one. Just let them have that because it's almost like the Time Machine. You have the original, then you have the remake. The original, then the remake. There's going to be a difference between the both. It's the same thing with like this was a kids franchise you've made into a horror franchise. Let them have the horror franchise. They could be like a split off to a horror franchise. Like this is what could happen. And then here's this one. Just let them have it at this point. They don't cry. Kept you on the edge of your seat. It didn't keep me on the edge of my seat. I was just bored. I'm like, I watched this, I'm like, okay, so Chucky, the one I saw, Chucky came out and stabbed the teacher. I think it was like a turkey baster that she had in the closet or something, or a ruler or something. And I'm just like, that's it? That's it? That's the whole movie? That's it? He's just a psychotic doll that kills people? I remember watching Bride of Chucky and Son of Chucky, or Seed of Chucky, and I'm like, this is it? This is the whole franchise? This is it? I'm like, yeah, I wasn't. Okay, well, that makes sense. I know Bambi, I think, is public domain. I know that Disney's mostly held on to it, but I think that one is public. So again, let them have it. That was already scary enough for kids when it came out, so let them have it. They can have that one. It's a deer what's the deer going to do? Finally kill people? They had Cocaine Bear, for God's sake. Let him have it. It's like, what would happen if you gave Yogi the Bear cocaine? What would happen if you gave Yogi the Bear some, white powder? What's going to happen today? It's going to go crazy. They're making a Big Thunder Railroad movie. Oh, God. Well, then again, you figure they had a movie that, Oh, no more Insidious. No more, no. Oh God, no. Oh my God, no. No, no more Insidious. Ugh. No Insidious. I was gonna say you had the Splash Mountain movie that, or the Splash Mountain ride was based off of Song of the South. So yeah, sure, why not? Why not make a movie off of the like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad? Go for it. It's Disney. Disney's limping to the barn as it is right now because the MCU, whatever phase they're in now, is not doing as well as they hoped. That's what happens when you kill off Iron Man. You kill off Iron Man and you lose a lot of stuff. Yay! No more MCU films! Thank you! I mean, I loved the MCU. I loved up to Endgame. But for the love of God, when you killed Iron Man, you killed the franchise. I'm sorry. There is nothing you can do after Endgame that I'm going to approve. I mean, Thor Love and Thunder looked like crap. You have Guardians of the Galaxy. Please end that nightmare. I am sick and tired of the B-list Avengers going around the galaxy acting like morons to tracks from the 80s and the 70s. Let it die. Ah. In all honesty, give me one more Spider-Man movie, one more decent Spider-Man with Tom Holland, and I will be happy. One more Spider-Man with Tom Holland, and I'm happy. Everything else after that, piss it away. I don't care anymore. Everything went to Disney Plus. It's like WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All that crap went right to Disney Plus. Like, this is our platform. This is our stuff. We're going to take it. We're going to do it over here. Nobody cared anymore. Fine, let it go. Oh, that was pure crap. That She-Hulk show was pure crap. Then again, She-Hulk was way better as an animated show because you could stretch the realm of make-believe. But by this point, and I want to stress this, Marvel does not know how to write female superhero shows and movies. And they proved that with Captain Marvel and with She-Hulk. They cannot write female competent roles for these products. DC proved that they could with Wonder Woman. That's why that one took off like a bat out of hell. That thing went off like a fucking rocket. But with with Marvel, they had Captain Marvel. That thing was an atrocity, but they had to shoehorn it in before Infinity War, before Endgame. It had to come in. We knew it had to be there. They're making a Conjuring 4? Oh, God. Oh, please, no more. No more Purge movies. No more. We almost had that. Oh, what the hell was it? There was a friend of mine that lives. I actually do have an old classmate that lives out in California. The little town she's in almost had a little purge-like incident. It was freaking her out. Didn't make the news, but it was freaking her out. That's one of the reasons why she's moving. I think Deadpool 2 should have been the final swan song for Deadpool. I don't like. Look, Ryan Reynolds can pitch his Mint Mobile that he sold to Mint Mobile that he sold to T-Mobile. He can pitch that till he's blue in the face. You can go make another R.I.P.D. movie, and I'll probably watch it. But stay the hell out of Marvel. I am tired of Deadpool, you fourth wall breaking jackass. But yes, that should be the final swan song. That's it's not even Marvel, it's Disney. Marvel just takes the comic books and adapts them. Disney's the one that says what they can and cannot adapt. It's like, oh, well, we need this, and this tie in with this, and this because it's owned by Disney. Disney owns Marvel, so it's all tied in with Disney. So Disney goes, we want it to be this. They have to abide. So it's more tied in with Disney. Disney doesn't care about the passionate fans. Disney doesn't care about us. That's how that goes. Oh, no. How can you make a live action Gumby? It was clay animation. My God. Okay. Let me get. Does it explain how what's his name? The discount Rooster Cogburn. Does it explain how he got violated by the wolf or the coyote that he was so upset about in the first movie? Does it explain that? Or does it go, or is it further than that? Because look, the first, I will admit, R.I.P.D. was a good movie, but it was way too fast. Like, by the time I'm like invested in this, I'm like, okay, this is gonna get really good. The movie's already halfway over. And I'm like, we're in the final act. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. We're already in the final act? It's just getting good. No. Okay, so Disney doesn't care about its fans. DC's rebooting its crap again. We've got so phase 4 is it then for the MCU stuff? Good. Finally, thank you. Oh, yeah, Foxy, I do miss the 90s. Power Rangers stuff was cheaper. Way freaking cheaper. Oh my God, way freaking cheaper. I could find better stuff on TV, better programming. I had cartoons. Oh, yes. I miss the 90s. God, I miss the 90s. I kind of wish we had the 90s stuff now. Like, I kind of wish we had like the 90s stuff mixed with the stuff from now. So I could use the internet, stream, do stuff like that, but still have like, I could go to the store and my $100 that I use for groceries could buy like a month's worth of groceries. Oh, well, that explains why I didn't know about it. Because Netflix pisses me off. They will never get my money. It's bad enough that Netflix is getting, they have Power Rangers now, and they're having the anniversary, the 30th anniversary that comes out later this month on the 19th. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I want to watch that, but I'm not getting Netflix. I'm like, I'm waiting until somebody puts it up. I'm assuming the official Power Rangers channel will probably put it up. I'm hoping. Because if they don't, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just going to have to hope and pray that somebody, like, screws around. Hey, Common, welcome back. That's pretty much what they've been doing for the last, like, 2 years. Like, well, no, not even that. When did Beauty and the Beast come out? When did we start getting those live action Abominations? I was still doing rant videos and weekly podcasts when they were doing those. So, yeah, try more like 2017. You went to Smash Burger? Lucky. I had leftover pizza for lunch and pancakes for dinner. Well, to be fair, the leftover pizza for lunch was last night's dinner. We get 4 slices each between my mom and I. So she gets 4 slices just cheese. I get 4 slices that are pepperoni, and I usually hold on to 2, and she holds on to 2, and we have them Saturday for lunch. That's unless I have to meet somebody on a Saturday, then I eat all 4 of them. But otherwise, we split it. I mean, I've been losing weight, so I have to make the budgets, stretch as much as possible. As I'm not making a lot of money. This definitely tasted a lot better. be nice. I wish Golden Sun would get a decent biopic because that does not get enough love. Oh, that's cool. I remember when I was a kid, I couldn't sign up for that. I didn't get that because you had to pay. But my grandfather and I used to go to flea markets and yard sales every Saturday. I got that. You remember the Power Rangers? It was like a room sensor thing that somebody like came to your rooms, like, stand back. This room is protected by the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Please state security clearance. It's Morphin time. I got that at a yard. I got that at a yard sale. I got that at a yard sale. I got like a White Ranger beeper. And I actually got one of the toy morphers at a yard sale. That was pretty fun. But yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff in those fan club things. But yeah, I mean, this is the ironic thing. So after Jason David Frank passed, a lot of his stuff, which what really pissed me off, is people were like hawking that stuff on eBay for outrageous prices. Now, a couple of sellers on eBay were being really nice about it, and honestly, my heart goes out to them. They weren't making a profit off of it because everything that they got for it was being donated to like suicide prevention services and stuff like that, which I appreciate. That was really nice of them to do. It's like, look, we're not taking a profit of this. I think they took like maybe 10% of what it sold for to cover their expenses. The rest of it would go to like the charities. And that was really nice. But it's like, I was like shocked because somebody had like a Zeo Ranger 5 helmet. They were trying to scalp it for like $30,000. I'm like, you bastards. Frogger. Yeah, all right, I can see that. You want my thoughts on the originals, Next Generation, or the new? Screw it, I'll just give you. I can do a quick one on all three because I was explaining this to my mom with how the Star Trek movies go. So here's the rapid fire. How I feel about fucking Star Trek movies. The first movie was a necessary evil. Wrath of Khan was ruined pretty much in the trailers. Khan! That was ruined it. The third movie was to fix the fuck ups from the second movie. The fourth movie was because they just had to make a fourth movie because they had to tie the loose ends from the third movie. And anybody that's ever seen the fourth movie, it's the one with the whales. If you know it, that's the one with the whales, then we can be friends. The fifth movie was Shatner trying to stroke his dick, and the sixth movie was just wrapping the whole thing up in a bow because we're done with this franchise and the cast was tired of dealing with each other. Generations was, hey, let's just meld the two together and finally give the fan fiction that the nerds have been writing in their basements for the last 20 years a chance to finally be seen. My personal favorite is First Contact. I love First Contact. That's where I learned how to do this. I was in 5th grade when that came out, and I remember going into school that Monday and doing this so that I could do the Vulcan greeting. Did not like, what was the one after that? First Contact. I don't remember what the second one was, but Nemesis, I hated it. I hated Nemesis with a passion. God, I hated Nemesis. Then you have the newer ones. So we get the first one, which is basically an alternate reality version of the OG Star Trek. Don't care. Sequel to that one, still don't care. Screw Quinto. He's a creepy little cheeky bastard by putting a tracking device in a necklace that he gave to Uhura. Third movie, don't really care. Good night. There. That's my rapid fire thoughts on the Star Trek franchise. That's my rapid fire thoughts on the Star Trek franchise. In a nutshell. Pong would be interesting because I know they had like that radar one, and that's kind of what inspired it. Lucky. The only pizza I have right now are some Hot Pockets that I'm going to be eating tomorrow for lunch. He was mine too. Because I remember I was still helping the fire company yet, and I saw it on Twitter that morning. I'm like, this is a joke. This is a joke. I'm like, oh, he felt all like, oh, he's part of that hoax thing now where they're saying the celebrities are dead again. I'm like, oh, it's just a hoax. I'm like, he'll wake up. Like, he's in Texas. I'm like, okay, that's Central Time. Or no, that's Mountain Time. I know he'll wake up in like 2 hours. He'll be like, I'm alive. It's all a hoax. And they're like, no, his trainers, confirming it. I'm like, I don't believe a word that trainers say. He might be in on it. Then when it's like, all of a sudden, it was officially announced. Then TMZ had it. His agent was coming out and saying it, and I'm like, shit, that hurt me because he was my favorite Power Ranger. So I have my favorites, male Power Ranger and my favorite female Power Ranger. Yes, I was a huge fan of Amy Jo Johnson growing up. Who the hell wasn't a fan of Kimberly? Come on. Everybody loved Kimberly. Every single person loved Kimberly. I was a fan of Kimberly. I was a fan of Trini. I actually did like the Yellow Ranger. She got screwed though because again, her counterpart in the Sentai was a guy, so hence why she didn't have a skirt. But male Power Ranger wise, my favorite was Jason David Frank, Tommy Oliver. He was my favorite Power Ranger. And it really hurt me when he died because I found a little Green Ranger. It's like a topper, like I think it was like one of those things with like a play set, and it had like the little base on it. You can just like move them around, but it's missing the Dragon Dagger. I guess that must have broken off. So I was like a little bummed about that. I do have a Ranger key. Now, granted, it's Dragon Ranger from the Sentai version because it's for the Mobirate, the Gokaiger one. But I'm like, I have that key. I could not get my hands on Zeo Ranger 5. Cannot get my hands on Kiba Ranger. And I'm still not going to try to get my hands on the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. I mean, I'd love to get my hands on Zeo Ranger 5, though, because I did like that incarnation. But I was sad when he died. That hurt me a lot when he died. I mean, his death is sort of like Robin Williams' death to me. I still can't get over it. And I watched his funeral. It was up on Facebook. It's still up on YouTube yet. I watched it. I was just like, no, I was really upset. I was hurt by that. I'm like, he died. I was like, no, it wasn't right. But yeah. Ooh. Okay. Is the Electric Mayhem series, is that like Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem? Like the band? Because if it is, that's awesome. Because they never got enough love. They never got enough love in the series. Ever. Even on the Muppet Show, they never got enough love. Yeah, they are. I won't deny that. Common, they are the worst. Bye, Alter. Thanks for hanging out. The J.J. Abrams ones, that would be Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek, whatever the hell the third one was. Or no, was the third one Into Darkness? The ones with Christopher Pine, I hate all three. Just go with that. I mean, all right. I will admit the ending for the first one, when Spock meets Spock, that's kind of funny. That gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, go fuck yourself. Because it's like, oh, I'm going back in time to when I was younger, but now it's an alternate reality because Vulcan's gone, and my mom's dead, and I have to go help the Vulcan people. And it's like in the second movie, when you get Khan, it's like, well, I told you that I would not consider, and I would not come at you and disclose anything about future events and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so you're not going to tell us anything about future events. But yet he goes, that being said, Khan Union Sung was the worst enemy that the Enterprise ever faced. Yeah, because he actually kicked your asses horribly. And I mean, like, horribly. So, of course, that's the one you hate the most. And what pissed me off with that movie is they reversed the whole Spock sacrifice and Kirk scene. Because in this case, it was Kirk's sacrifice and Spock's scene. I didn't like that. Nobody liked that, but I sure didn't like that. It's like, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. This came from a person that was from a planet where they do not have emotions. He's half human because his dad screwed his mom and his mom was human. And out pops Spock. I know Jason David Frank was a jerk to Austin St. John, but then again, St. John came out and said it himself. He goes, "It's no secret that we were not beer drinking buddies," and that's true. You can guarantee that to 100%. That nobody denies that. There are some people that if you piss him off, yes, he will not hold back. But for a majority, his fans, he was 100% for his fans. Like because he would go out of his way to make sure that the fans were happy. He loved interacting with his fans, and it showed every like video he would do, autograph signings and stuff like that. There was a video he had put out that he was supposed to go to a comic convention up in Canada, and he didn't make it because when he's trying to get into Canada, because he was bringing a bunch of his merchandise with him, he was at the airport and they're like, "Oh no, you can't bring this in." They were giving him like a list of reasons why, and he goes, "Well, none of that makes any sense because it's stuff that I'm selling. It's it's part of this." And they're like, "Oh yeah, no, 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 no. You can't do this. You can't have any of this stuff in." So they literally turned him around and sent him back home. And he's in the airport. They're loading his stuff back up onto a plane, and he's going to be going onto the plane then. And he's telling everybody on Facebook, goes, "I'm not making it to this convention because they won't let me through with my stuff." He goes, "I have to go back home." Goes, "I'm not just going to leave the stuff at the airport. I'm going with it." He goes, "So I'm not making this convention." He was really heartbroken. So he said to any of his fans, he goes, "If any of you were there, you have your ticket stub to prove it." Goes, "Send me a picture of it. Send me a picture of your ticket stub to prove it." Goes, "I'll send you an autographed picture." And he did. There was a lot of people that said that they did get that. But he was for his fans. There were people that, yeah, if you piss him off, he's probably a jerk. And there are like that for me too. If somebody pisses me off, I'm gonna flat out tell them off. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna come out and tell them what's for. I'm gonna tell them where to shove it. But when it comes to like my friends, I'll go to hell. Yeah, can't talk. I'll go to hell and back for my friends. For my fans, I'll go to hell and back. I'll defend any of my fans. Like, hey, somebody's saying nasty stuff about this person because they follow me. Piss off. They follow me because they like what I put out. You don't like the fact that I'm putting something out. That's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. They're entitled to theirs, and I'm entitled to mine. So screw off. But yeah, you're always going to have people that are like that. They're going to be, "Oh my God, no, it's horrible. Oh my God, no. He's a horrible person." But he was nice to his fans. Because like anytime he was in like going to like a comic book shop, or he was doing like a convention, or he was going to like a toy store or something, he would usually put out to the fans, "Hey, I'm gonna be here this coming weekend from this time to this time, like signing autographs, talking about this. You want to come check it out?" And stuff like that. Because the Legend of the White Dragon's coming out Labor Day weekend, and that's basically going to be his magnum opus. And a lot of people were like, "Well, this is like his final movie," because yeah, it is. And the thing is, he was all for the fans, like the Lord Draken stuff. He was showing like the stuff that he was getting. He goes, "This is going to go in my office." He was open to the fans. Like the fans had a question, he'll answer the fan questions. He'll talk to fans. He'll interact with the fans because he knew that the fans, were what he needed. But you will have the people that are like, "Nope, I don't want to deal with this guy." Because they just didn't like him. And then there were people that just pissed him off. And he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to deal with you anymore." But yeah, to some people, he was probably a jerk. But to others, and the fans especially, he will forever be, a symbol in their eyes. So there is that. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? Hey, all right, Foxy, have fun. Yeah, I do this stream every Saturday. I usually tweet it. You can follow me at Otaku Roads on Twitter, but I usually stream every Saturday. At least that's my intended goal, because this is the worst podcast ever. So you can actually catch up on the other ones. They're in the live section. This is episode 5, so I've actually done 4 other ones. So feel free to check them out. But yeah, I usually do this every Saturday. So hope you can come back. Yeah, Hasbro did mistreat him. I think that was one of the reasons why he was done, like why he retired the character, so that he's like, if I retire the character of Tommy Oliver, I don't have to go back and do like any more Power Ranger stuff. I don't have to deal with Hasbro. I don't have to go with this BS anymore. And I can just focus on, my stuff and just distance myself from the character that I was. I kind of feel like that's what happened. So that's actually not, yeah, that's true. Because if you figure it, his retiring of the character wasn't too long after Hasbro got the rights to Power Rangers. It's like, I'm done being Tommy Oliver. I'm retiring the character. And it's like, I don't doubt it. He probably, because remember, he was gung-ho for the Legendary War. He's like, I'm going to be here for the Legendary War. Like, I would have came back and did it for $1. He paid his own expenses to go down there too. It's usually about 7-ish. I started a little early tonight because I didn't know when people were going to come in, but I usually start about 7 p.m. my time, and it's Eastern Standard Time. But like I said, just check out my Twitter. It's at Otaku Roads. You can actually find it in the About Me section here on the channel. Just follow that. I usually tweet up when I'm about to start the stream, so you can check it out then. Thanks for stopping by, Fox. You had a lot of fun. I hope to see you in the next one. It's back to the Hasbro thing. What was I talking about? I was like, Hasbro mistreated him. I lost my thought. He was mistreated. But yeah, it's no secret though. The Legendary War. That's what it was. Okay. So, because he was saying about how like he would have came back and did it. Remember, back then it was Nickelodeon that had it. Saban had it. They're like, hey, they're only bringing back certain Rangers. He wanted to come back for it for the fans. He said, he even put a video out, and you can still find that video, where he goes, I do this for the fans. I will do this for $1. And he did. He practically probably did it for next to nothing. He just did it, to give the fans something. And he even admitted later on that it was a mistake. Not him coming back, just the whole Legendary War, that it was just rushed. It was because they had to reshoot the helmet scene, because he complained that this isn't the right helmet. And they even looked into it and said, yeah, it's not. You're right. It's the wrong helmet. We really shouldn't do it this way. That was why he did the Bat in the Sun stuff then. The White Ranger versus Scorpion, and then the Green Ranger versus Ryu, because he's like, look, this is, especially the White Ranger versus Scorpion, he actually came out and said, this is my making up for the Legendary War, because he was pitching that thing like crazy. I'll have to watch those, because I know, well, keep in mind, a lot of the stuff that I get is piecing together from the internet, like Twitter, a couple YouTube videos and stuff like that. But yeah, it's no surprise though that Hasbro mistreated him. Hasbro, I think, wanted to go in their own direction, and he's probably like, look, I've been doing this now for how many years? If you want a veteran Ranger, I can come back. I'm willing to. Hasbro probably said, piss off, because we don't want to deal with you. We want the other ones. And yeah, it makes sense. But I'll have to watch Mr. Weenie to check that out. But yeah. I gotta figure out what to talk about them next week. Yeah, I'll check them out. Well, here's the thing. I'll just say, follow me on Twitter, and then just shoot me the links to it. Then that way I'll know which ones to find. Because otherwise, I'm liable to get lost trying to track them down. And then I can watch them during the week then. That'll give me something I can watch, because I start work later this week. Because I got 2 nights where I'm closing, and I got to be there like 9 a.m. on Wednesday. I got to be at work, so yeah, if you follow me on my Twitter, just send me the links there, and then I'll definitely check them out. because I'm definitely going to check that out. But like I said, keep in mind though, like a lot of the stuff that I get is secondhand, so take it as you will. Like how he left the series because he was done at the time with Turbo. He's like, look, I've been playing the character now for so long. Just want to step away from the series. And they're like, yeah, not a problem. And they let him walk away. But then they also kind of got rid of the other four at the same time. I had gotten that through one channel. I don't remember which one. I think it was the Where Are They Now? Or What Happened To or something. There was a channel that did that. It was really good. I can't think of what channel it was though, but there was that. But yes, like a lot of the stuff I get is secondhand knowledge. So take it with a grain of salt, basically. But yeah. I gotta figure out what to talk about though next week because we gotta wrap this thing up. I've been at this for a little over 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours I've been at this. Holy crap. Oh, what do I want to talk about next week? I don't know. I don't know what to talk about next week. No. Yeah. All right. Next week, we're going to talk about our favorite food items that are gone and not coming back. Stuff that we remember that we used to enjoy as a kid or used to remember that we don't have anymore. I have a list of food. I have a laundry list of food items that I remember. But yeah, I gotta wrap this thing up. I've been doing this for like over 2 hours. So holy crap. But yes. So I'm gonna get going though, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. I'm still trying to get my voice right. So I can get like louder and stuff, but because I know you can kind of tell it's kind of like cracking, but I'm trying. Thank you all for showing up. And until next time, I've been your host, Andrew/Jessica. And until next time, I bid you all a fair and fond farewell. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good one, and I love you all. Bye. Till next week.